This video is brought to you by mywayteaching.com.
Let us see another simple example. Example 10. For the damped oscillator shown in the figure, the mass m of the block is 200 gram and the value of spring constant is 90 Newton per meter and the damping constant B is 40. Calculate the period of oscillation, the time taken for its amplitude of vibrations to drop to half of its initial value, and the time taken for its mechanical energy to drop to half of its initial value. Okay, with the data given, we should find out all the things. You can consider this figure, what I have told in the question. So coming to the solution part, they have given the value of K and we know mass value. So that is given by 90 into 0.2. 200 gram, which is nothing but 0.2 kg, which gives 18 kg Newton per meter. Okay, that is also equal to kg square second raised to minus 2. So square root of km is equal to 4.243 kg per second. And I have given the value for damping constant B, isn't it? That is equal to 0.04 kg per second. And B is much less than square root of km, and hence we can write the time period T is equal to 2 pi square root of m by k. And here we know the value of m and the value of k, that is 0.2 by 90 Newton per meter, which gives 0.3 second. Okay, this is the solution for the first part of the question. Now coming to the second part, the time t1 by 2 for the amplitude to drop to half of its initial value. So that is given by t1 by 2 is equal to ln of 1 by 2 by B by 2m, 0.693 by 40, 2 into 200. That gives the value as 6.93 seconds. Okay. Coming to the third part, part of the question, that is T1 by 2 for mechanical energy to drop to half of its initial value. So we can write E of t 1 by 2 by E of 0, which gives exponential minus b into t 1 by 2 by m. So here this is equal to 1 by 2 exponential minus t 1 by 2 by m. So if you take exponential this side, we get ln of 1 by 2 minus b by t m. Okay. We get 0.693 by 40 into 200. Value is t1 by 2 value, that is equal to 3.46 seconds. So this is just half of the decay period for amplitude. Okay. Now let us study about forced oscillations and resonance. Okay. See, when a system such as simple pendulum or a block which is attached to a spring is displaced from its equilibrium position, and when it is released, it oscillates with its natural frequency omega, isn't it? Or W, and the oscillations are called as free oscillations in that case. Okay. Okay. All free oscillations eventually die out because of ever present damping forces. After some time, all those oscillations will die. However, an external energy can maintain these oscillations, so that extra after some interval of time, if you want to if you want those oscillations to continue, then we can use some external energy. So those external energies are nothing but force, or we can call them as driven oscillations. So we use them to continue the oscillations. Okay, these are external agencies. We consider the case when the external force itself periodic with a frequency WD. So this is called as driven frequency. Okay. A most important fact of forced periodic oscillations is that the system oscillates not with its natural frequency W but at the frequency that is WD of the external agency. See, the free oscillations die due to damping. So, a most familiar example of this forced oscillation is when a child in a garden swing periodically presses his feet against the ground to maintain the oscillations, isn't it? That is the one simple example. Suppose you can consider an external force f of t of amplitude f naught that varies periodically with the time is applied to a damped oscillator. We can represent such a force as and the motion of a particle under the combined action of a linear restoring force as well as the damping force and a time dependent driving force, all these are represented by this equation. Okay, and that is given by m into a of t is equal to minus k into x of t minus b into v of t plus f naught cos omega d into t. Okay, substituting d square x by dt square for acceleration, we'll get this equation in a form that is m d square x by dt square plus b dx by dt plus kx is equal to f naught cos omega d into t. This is the equation of an oscillator of mass m on which a periodic force of frequency omega d is applied. That is nothing but driven frequency is applied. See, initially that oscillator, it oscillates with the natural frequency that is W. When we apply the external periodic force, the oscillations with the natural frequency die out, then body oscillates with the frequency of external periodic force that is WD, driven frequency. Its displacement after the natural oscillations die out is given by x of t is equal to a cos omega d into t plus pi when natural frequency die out. So t is the time measured from the moment when we apply the periodic force, and the amplitude A is a function of the forced frequency omega d and the natural frequency W. So from the analysis we can write A is equal to F naught by m square w square wd square whole square plus wd square b square whole raised to 1 by 2. Okay. And tan pi is equal to minus b naught by wd into x naught, where m is the mass of the particle and v naught and x naught are the velocity and displacement of the particle at the time t is equal to 0, which is the moment when we apply the periodic force. And this equation a and tan pi, these two equations no, they shows that the amplitude of the forced oscillator depends on the angular frequency of the driving force, and we can see a different behavior of the oscillator when driven frequency is far from the natural frequency, when it is close to natural frequency. For that we have two different cases. We'll study those two cases in the coming part.